for me, the progressive thought about it all too is that, I want to create an environment of structured and controlled adversity, right? Because a lot of people had an argument, well, he needs to see what's out there. I don't agree. I think that's what's wrong with the world too, is that it's too much information. You expose it too much, so you become desensitized. I
Mm-hmm.
want excellence to be the standard, where anything outside of that in their minds is weird,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
For them,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, nah, we just ain't going for any of that. So for me, it's like, hey, be a good person. Learn how to identify other good people. And then as you do that, what's your skill sets, what you want to do? You master, you become good at that.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be somebody in whatever you're doing looking to be taught how to do it.
Yeah.
We're not lazy. So you take the steps of figuring it out and being the mastery of that. And then you create a space or an environment where people can be taught. And that's where you make money. And in my opinion, that's where you also keep the freedom. Because most of the time we only push certain, 9 to 5s or jobs, et cetera, is because so a person can afford to buy bullshit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got a rich spirit where you're not driven and just motivated by all materialistic things, don't mean you ain't gonna want some fly stuff. But if that's not your sole motivation, you'll have all the fly stuff you want.
Yep. You know what this is? It's not a movement, it's the only thing moving, huh? Dig that? Huh. Okay, oh yes, the war is coming. The gap keep growing with the wealthy and the slumming. So I use my mental riches for digits to keep them running till my chips come around. Yup, like a funyun. Bite down, get a taste of that Midwest flavor. While I'm at it, let Mr. Rogers just shout out to my neighbors. I ain't mention the journal when I say wake up, get paper. Not talking about Kobe when they mention the Great Lake.
Just plug my phone, bro. Forget it, dog. I'm done. I can't. I can't figure it out. But anyway, bro. So yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to getting back to the grind, bro, and providing people some content or whatnot. But bro, what's been up with you, bro? We've been gone for like 6 months. So what's the word with you, bro? Like how everything been going with the family life and all that, bro? How everything been going?
Man, 6 months just blew by.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But everything been going well, man. Busy. So that mean the seasons done changed 6 months ago. So
Yeah.
we were last time it was cold out, huh?
It was spring. It was
It was
spring.
spring.
Yeah,
Spring.
it was spring when the last time we potted because I started writing the spring semester. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay. Well, yeah,
and I
we
went through
made
the
it.
summer.
Made it through a hot summer.
Mm,
Did a couple projects.
mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm sitting in my parlor right now. We kind of redid some things in the parlor. Launched a couple businesses. Got a high school student that started. He got homecoming next week, so I got a 15-year-old.
That's
So yeah, man, we just been busy. We've been busy doing a lot.
yeah, that's what's up. It's been the same here, bro. My son started high school this year as well, so we. It's funny when your kids start high school, you start looking towards the future. Like, man, I gotta start teaching dude how to drive. I got I'm like, oh no, bro, I'm not looking forward to this at all. You know what I mean? So, my nerves. I'm
Yeah. So
so
my so LJ actually he just got his learner's permit, and his mom got like a little C class Mercedes. Uh, so he been whipping and he can drive pretty. He decent, he getting better,
mhm,
but he don't want to drive my F-150 or the Denali, the
yeah,
Yukon Denali, because they so big. And I'm telling him, I'm like, hey, it's really the same thing. So we starting to do that slow parking lot type vibes, but he got the concept down. He just got to get the confidence. So
yeah.
he
I
gonna be the chauffeur pretty soon.
Yeah, I think you should teach them in the big cars because once they get in the smaller cars, it's easier. Because I learned how to drive in the Lincoln Continental. I'm
Hmm.
tall, bro. I'm 6'6".
Hmm.
I took my driving test in my
Hmm.
auntie's. What kind of car did she have? She had a Chrysler something, bro. But it was a big car too. You know what I'm saying? So I now when if I drive any sedan, bro, I'm whipping it. And you done seen me drive Suburban, so you know how I drive. I can whip a Suburban like
And that's
it's a Ford Escort.
and that's what I told him. I'm like, bro, you gonna be good. You
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this Yukon,
Hmm.
you gonna be straight. That
Yeah.
little Mercedes, like. So now he been looking at what type of car he want, all that funny stuff, and then my younger boys,
Hmm.
they just flourishing, man. They just kind of watching him and seeing him do stuff. So
Yeah.
they just life is good. We in a good space.
That's what's up, bro. It's always a beautiful thing, dog, when you're in a good space as a family, you know. So, but we survived. We survived the rapture. Like all these black TikTokers, man. Y'all had me thinking I was gonna get superpowers. Y'all had me thinking Jesus was about to come back. Like none of it happened, dog. Y'all gotta stop reading the Mayan calendars, fam.
For the fans
Yeah.
and for the uninformed, how did this rapture conversation come about?
Bro, so it came about because the Mayan calendar. I wasn't joking. Like I guess it had people. You know how people they'll see ancient civilization calendars or whatever, and then we finally starting to hit those dates as a civilization. So it's like, oh, bro, the rapture's supposed to be this year, blah blah blah. This, that. So that's where that came from. You know what I mean? Not to mention, like, you know, these ancient civilization calendars be way off. Like time is all relative and whatever. But I can get that's a whole another deep dive. But that's where the conversation initially started at, bro. And it just became kind of a meme and a moment or whatnot. But it was funny because seeing black TikTokers who kind of like church hurt and don't believe in Jesus, they was going in, bro. It was pretty comical last week. I had a really good time with the rapture.
Yeah, that's all that stuff be wild, bro.
Yeah. But that's where it came from, bro. Like you know what I mean, like. So I was just having fun with it, but I'm like, hey, we here now. So
That part. Come on, get us, Lord.
Yeah, all right. Please come back. Shit, if you gonna come back, I woke up the next morning. I woke up the next morning like, fuck, I'm still here. But
Come on, get us, big dog.
That's where we started at, dog. But anyway. Hey, for the listeners who not familiar, hey, listen, welcome back to another episode of Unlabeled the Podcast. That name will be changing soon. But I'm your illustrious host, Jerome Williams. I got my co-host, Lamar Wilburn, in the building. If this is your first time here, man, like I said, we talk about culture, hip-hop, sports, you know, everything, man. That's what we named it Unlabeled. We come in here to have conversation and culture build and community build and whatnot. But, hey, man, first things first on the list, man, rest in peace, Assata Shakur. She was one of our civil rights figures that meant a lot to me, formerly known as Joanne Chesimard. If y'all not familiar with her, man, y'all should look up her story. But just some of her quick highlights, some of the more important parts of her story. This woman was a political prisoner. She was accused of killing New Jersey patrol officer, and you know, even though she was found that even though the stories that corroborated she wasn't there, she was innocent and all that, she was still sent to prison. And she was one of the first women to be sent to a male prison where she endured all kind of torture. Former Black Panther, later on became part of the Black Liberation Army. She was liberated. They actually got her out of prison, maximum security prison, the Black Liberation Army, and got her to Cuba, where Fidel Castro gave her political asylum and refused to send her back to the United States. She died a couple of days ago at the age of 78. It was reported by her daughter. So yeah, rest in peace to one of our greats, man. Like she did a lot to fight for our rights and our liberation in this country. So I thought I'd be remiss not to mention that. And like I said, I have a close relationship to her story because my mom actually worked at a high school that was named after her in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It was an alternative school, and I had a lot of friends that attended that school. A lot of them inboxed me immediately when they found out she passed away and everything like that. So it kind of hit close to home with me because I was familiar. Burn, I don't know if you have any thoughts or any words or whatever.
Yeah, I would just say go look her up and try and find publications that are unbiased because it's a lot of really good information. For the example, just the meaning of her name. When she went to prison and she changed her name, her name has meaning. So for the sake of you using the Googles, go look it up. But it's actually fire.
Yeah.
You know, so look that up. Try and find some unbiased publications because we see as our legends pass, they go back and do fake facts. So look it up while you can, while that information is there. But you can find out some fly stuff. So
right, and I recommend her book as well, self-titled Assata Shakur, Assata, I believe is the name of the book. But look it up as well. It was written a while ago, but it's a really good book as well. But like, yeah. Google her research, do some of her works, and you can kind of form your opinions from there. Like I said, I really appreciate you, Lamar, for mentioning that non-biased material. So yeah, do your Googles and do your research.
Her book fly. She on the front with the fro linked over, looking like you know. So yeah, man, fly, real fly.
Bro, a lot of our that civil rights drip. That was some
Oh,
fun, bro. That goes without saying, bro.
mm.
I know we was liberating our people. I know it was real serious moments, bro. But they put that stuff on, bro. They put that shit on, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You go look back at some of them pictures, man. Fred Hampton, Stokely Carmichael. Malcolm X, all of them, bro. Like the Black Panthers were just drippy, period, bro. And it goes. It's not a surprise that
Mm.
and like I said, I'm not trying to minimize this, but
Mm.
I'm saying like the aesthetics of it, bro, was fire. And you go back and look at that, you see it. I mean, we see it at Beyonce. She did it at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Kendrick Lamar. So you see a lot of the aesthetics from still in our community and still to this day. But back then it was really something to behold. You know?
And that's why it bothered me too, because now, you know, historically the things that we've just done, because we really are the season to all of this. And people we because we may not have an interest in it, or we may not be as good as someone we competing with, we hate on it. For example, you see people like, I'm gonna leave my kids some more than shoes and clothes, and it's like, ha ha, I get that, but why you gotta hate? Just say you gonna leave your kids money or a Roth, whatever you gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
But this stuff is interwoven in the fabric of our culture.
That
Like,
part.
we've always been fly. That's our personality. That's our soul and our spirit. And to your point, you go back and look. Yeah, they was fighting for freedom. Leather pants,
Right. Right.
fly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In shape, looking good.
That part.
You
That
know,
part.
and we need to tap back into that to be ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
The health being one. Them people are in shape, and you got to think, you know, in a time period where they were really living in food deserts for real. Now
Mm-hmm.
we're a little more educated to identify them now because of what they've been through. But man, they ain't have access and resources and the integration that we have now. But we the most overweight we've ever been, and we not fly. We more brand
Brand
aware.
aware. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
want to throw on the name brands, which is cool because I buy some of that stuff too. But I know I can go anywhere. I can wear something custom made and come down. So anyway, shout out to history, man, because it's the game don't change, just the players. So
Yeah, I mean it does change slightly, and I mean don't get me on my soapbox because
get on it.
yeah
They ain't
no
hurt
no
you in a while. Get on it.
no I'm saying this, bro, because we forget that we have a responsibility socially and politically in this country, and we fall asleep behind the wheel too often. You know what I'm saying? People get comfortable for whatever reason, whether it be bag chasing, whatever the case may be. We just forget that we have responsibility socially and politically in this country, and we just don't do it. And we see that with every generation, we just move further and further away from that. You know what I mean?
Yep. Facts.
Yeah. So I think that like I say, each one teach one. We gotta do the right things. That's part of what this platform is built on as well. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah, that and then to your point about even being in shape, like of course we know the average American diet is in the worst space that it's ever been. It's getting better, some improvements, a lot of health influencers out there. Of course we got the GLP-1s, whatever. But take care of yourself regardless of whatever path you take. Just try to do it, because that's something that me and Burner, especially over the last year, have been 100% conscious about is health and fitness. I'm a big guy. I've always been big. Like, I've been big my whole entire life. The smallest I ever been was 270. You know what I'm saying? As an adult man, but I'm also 6'6". So you know what I mean? So I'm not sitting up here acting like I'm no GQ model or nothing, but a brother tries to keep it tight and keep it right. You know what I mean? But I'm doing better. Like I said, down 10 pounds for the year. Probably got a lot more to go, but getting it in and being conscious about it as well. So I don't want y'all to think I'm sitting up here being a hypocrite trying to browbeat you, but it's just something to be aware of.
Yeah, GQ had hit me. I told him I was busy, but
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
whole different pod for a whole
A
different
whole different day. Man, I can't quite get to it right now. But hey, look, hey, if y'all looking for some male BBWs, hey, y'all, hey, my email is in the description.
I'm 6'2" plus size.
Plus size, I'm plus size. Hey,
Y'all ain't doing no husky drip.
I love Nigga Nova too, bro. I be on Nigga Nova buying that drip. Hey, I seen the plus size dude on there. One of them, he looked just like my homeboy, bro. I be sending them pictures, dude, all the time. I'm like, bro, this is you. He must have got on that Ozempic because he's starting to lose a little weight. I done seen this dude on Fenty. I done seen him on Fashion Nova, Shein, all that stuff, bro. But who, man, all that. I'm
Well,
like, nah, this
listen,
dude won't go away.
dog, listen. All I'm gonna say, bro. All I'm gonna say is that's so fly, bro. Because you gotta appreciate where you can go throw something together for
That
$40.
part. Listen,
Like,
hey man,
bruh,
hey listen, bro.
if
I
you got swag, oh,
if you got swag,
$40,
$40 gonna get you
oh,
right, bro. Swear to God. But that's the problem, bro. You know,
and it's
people.
gonna be there in 30 minutes.
That's what. Hey, no, you know the problem. No, that's the problem with our community, bro. They think they gotta have on them labels. I don't care about no labels, bro. Y'all are being marketed to. Everybody that y'all see that's famous wearing them labels, they are getting that stuff for free, and y'all be eating it up. Like, man, I'm gonna go pay $3,000 for a shirt that LeBron got on for free, or that Offset got on for free, bro. Because they swag bombing them. They know that they are walking billboards. They are sending them that stuff for free. Why am I gonna try to compete with somebody when he getting it for free? He already rich and he getting it for free, and y'all want to charge me 3 stacks for that, bro? Y'all crazy, bro.
But here's the thing that nobody want to say. What the truth of the matter is, too, right? Apples to apples would be, guess what? LeBron ain't wearing a $3,000 shirt and rent only $850. Stop it. LeBron ain't wearing a $3,000 shirt and car need a oil change or he need a ride because the car done broke down. So and I don't think people just realize that they pretend so much, and it's like, hey, people not hating, you just forcing it, right? Which is cool, but at the end of the day, man, like what you like, and that's okay. And if that's what you like, you like that. But again, the responsibility would be like, hey, don't put yourself in a position to be doing worse because you're trying to prove to people you doing good. Because we don't, nobody's gonna believe that anyhow. You pull up with a muffler sounding like you got an exhaust system on it, and you got a diamond watch on. Come on, bruh. Nobody would just believe that anyway. So do yourself a favor and just be true to yourself. Like what you like, but nobody believe anybody about anything. So we just be we be tripping with that.
Yeah. One thing I will push back on is that when you said I do agree with like what you like. If that's how you get down, if you want to rock the Louis, Gucci, Fendi, all that, whatever, like what you like, that's a fact. But one thing I will push back on is when you said dang, bro. Golly, it escapes me. I just lost my train of thought. We said
That's
something.
because you ain't really want to push back.
No,
That's
no, I
valid.
didn't. No, I didn't. It was just a petty pushback, but
Oh yeah.
it was more so on the lines of you saying there's nothing wrong with that. I think it is something wrong with that when your rent is $850 and you got a $3,000 shirt on, because you know what I mean. Like I said, we forget that. Back to my point earlier, you got a social and political and responsibility. So like ill spending when you $20,000 behind in child support, but you got on Fendi. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro,
And
that's not that.
if I said that, I misspoke because no,
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
you
okay,
you
okay, okay.
absolutely look silly.
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah,
look
you look
silly.
silly,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. That's
You
all.
look silly.
That's where I was gonna
Yeah.
push back on, because we got too many people that do that. They put what they look like ahead, and bro, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares. And like it used to be a thing. We grew up. We men of a certain age. We know you're approaching 40. I'm over 40. Like, we men of a certain age. It used to mean something, but bro, you go to school now. These kids be in there with sweats and Crocs on. They don't care, like, you know what I mean. And then like once you pass 25, bro, people really don't care.
And the crazy part about it too
Mhm.
is this environment that I'm raising my family in is totally different from the environment I grew up in. So what I'm starting to see though is a lot of that BS is passed down, right?
Mhm.
Because guess what? My son don't ask for Jordans. He don't ask for certain stuff. Every once in a while he may see something, but he like a variety of things. And to
Facts.
your point, you walk up to them schools, don't know, they be out there like they kids, bro. So I'm so encouraged by that, looking at it through the lens of this environment, because I know other environments it ain't the same. But I'm so excited for the future because them kids are there being kids, bro.
That part.
They just don't
Mhm.
care about that stuff.
Mhm.
And a lot of his friends, they come from families where they can afford it. Because guess what? They will have whips though. They'll have whips when they get that license for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Right. Right.
But it ain't the materialism that we've used so long to try and convince ourselves that we were something that we weren't. And I don't want to sound like an old hater, because I feel like you dressing up and looking the part, looking good and feeling good about yourself is very important. I feel, especially for a man, I think that's very, very important because women always have done it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men, we gotta, man, manicure, pedicure, like that stuff matter, bro. It make you feel good. It's
Yeah,
good for your
facts.
body.
That's
So
hygiene, though.
that
Yeah,
part,
yeah.
because really, in my opinion, they go hand in hand. So that ain't what we're saying. I'm saying, hey, that Walmart or wherever that Nova Tech fleece for $40 versus the one from Nike for 150 gonna serve the same purpose, especially when you only got $260.
That part.
So I'm off my hill that I took to die on, but
Uh-huh.
yeah,
And
it's
I,
just crazy though.
just so I won't sound like a hypocrite too, because like, hey, look, I got on a black T-shirt and a Milwaukee Braves. Shout out to the Milwaukee Braves, for y'all don't know it's a old Negro League team. But anyway, I got Milwaukee Braves hat on. I do got on Versace glasses, but these glasses ain't a tenth of my mortgage. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
like, hey, I don't want y'all to think I'm being. I love accessories. Yeah, you'll catch me in some Fashion Nova shit, a Walmart T-shirt, quick as hell. But I'm gonna accessorize.
right,
So
right.
yeah. Just so y'all don't think I'm being a hypocrite, because I did mention that at the top of the show. I want to bring that back home right quick. But in ways, hey bro, let's talk about something that's been on my heart near and dear to a while, bro. And it's just how we move in our community to treat each other as brothers, bro. Because I know we like to toss around that term like, hey, bro, this, that, bro. Oh, that's my family. I know in the community we call a lot of people that we grew up with cousins, brothers, all that type of stuff, and they don't be blood relatives. And I'm all about chosen family, but bro, when did we get so far off code with each other, bro? Where it's like, Bernie, if I'm in the I'm in Texas. That's why we do the show remotely, because you one of my closest friends. You in Nebraska. I'm in Texas. When I come to Nebraska, if you need me to do something, bro, if I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do it, it's done. You know what I'm saying? Like if you hit me, bro, as your brother and ask me to do something, bro, I'm going to be there. When did we get off code so far, bro, to be like, hey, I'm gonna give you my word that I'm gonna do something, bro, and then I just don't even show up, or I just, you know what I mean? We just treat each other so bad, bro. It's wild to me right now. And we lie for each other, lie on each other. Like it's crazy, bro. Like when we gotta kind of reel this in, bro, because it's just like men don't treat each other with the the stuff that we grew up with. Like, all I got is my balls and my word. So if I give you my word that I'm gonna do something, bro, I'm gonna do it. I might forget. I don't got a family. I got kids. I might forget. But if you reel me, hey, pull my coattail. Hey, bro, you said you was gonna do this for me, or you was gonna be there for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try my best. Like, when did we get so far removed from that, bro? Or like, what like, why do you think that is that we do that now?
Man, that's what everything you said. I agree with first and foremost, but I think the part of me agreeing is I think we become a little short sighted, and what I mean by that is we didn't get far off. The problem was is that we were at a level in our life that people was able to hang on to you, right? Because the part where people start to fall off is as you go higher, it requires a level of accountability or collaboration for you to go with me. Otherwise, I'm just carrying you. So as you accomplish things individually in your life, whether it's being married, whether it's kids being successful, etc., my obligation to participate in that becomes greater as well. Because if you were just renting a place, for an example, right? You may not ever need help cutting your grass. You may not need help painting. You may not need help doing all these homeowner things. You just call somebody. But as you elevate and you become a homeowner, damn, all this shit is on me. So now, who's ever your friend, there's a greater opportunity, I like to say responsibility, to be a helping hand. Because if we're friends, how I grew up, if we were brothers, I should be able to call y'all first. I shouldn't have to go outside of that, right? But again, nobody want to come help you cut that grass. Why? Because they haven't embraced the opportunity, or the responsibility hasn't been presented for them to cut their own grass. And that could go along for every other thing. So I think the biggest thing with all of that is, for one, self accountability, right? If we brothers, at the end of the day, why would you lie to me? You don't have to present a certain type of way. I can see you getting leverage off of other people, but how I come up in my cloth, I wouldn't lie to my brother, especially about something, of value. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think, we grow up in these environments where you'll call stuff your brother and they'll be lying about something serious, and it's almost offensive. But we grow up in this fake culture of like everybody got this bravado. They call it I'm a P. I'm a player. I don't really matter like that. And to me, that's corny. A lie is a lie. I should feel disrespected if you lied about something of value. Corny stuff, cool. I get that. You're lying. I ain't kissed that girl. Whatever, just something corny, whatever, you want to insert there. But like stuff that be like serious, like cats be corny, they be lying. And they don't want to be accountable to take that next step on the elevation because it ain't them. So for example, if we were in the same city, man, we be on the phone. I know you doing DIYs at the crib. Not because you can't afford to pay somebody to do it, because I don't want to afford to pay nobody to do it because I'm taking ownership, pride, and doing sweat equity.
Right.
But I will be there helping you with it. Not only do I learn, that's my dog, you benefiting. I'm getting a skill, I'm participating, you getting real life sweat equity.
Right.
And I know we would be able to reciprocate that. But the problem is, whether it's home ownership or everything else, these bros or friends or family, you know, people just don't be interested in that. And they don't look at it like that. And I think as you grow and as you glow, you realize that really just because I knew you or know you, that don't mean we bros. And I think in our community, man, that's the hardest thing for us to accept is that, hey, some of them bros or sis or whatever, you want to call them, they're acquaintances at best.
Yeah. And
That's really what it is.
yeah, and cats be lousy, bro.
Yeah.
That's that. I think that's a lot of it because it's crazy because you think that people grew up in a community close to you that they have the same sense of core values that you have, bro. And I think we got to get back to defining that because one of mine is integrity and loyalty, and I ain't one of the people that's loyal to a fault because listen. You disrespect me, you lie to me too many times. I ain't got to deal with you. I'm not gonna be loyal to you just because we blood or I grew up with you and I got 20 years of friendship with you and you've been disrespectful to me and disloyal and I've noticed it. You know what I mean? It's a rap, fam. I'm not being. You ain't got to be around me at all. Once I see that you not don't show up for me the way I show up for you, whether it was with the same amount of morality, integrity, friendship, sweat equity, all that stuff that you mentioned earlier. If you show for me the way I show for you, it's a wrap. We don't even got to do this no more. I'm not wasting my time, and I've been like that my whole life, which is why a lot of people
100%.
why a lot of people don't mess with me because I'm gonna tell the truth about you too.
Listen, and don't tell a lie about me because I'll tell the truth about you quick.
Yeah, that part.
I remember my wife said, you know what? We were about 3-4 years into our marriage, and she said, you hard on people, but you hard on yourself too. So I respect that because she was blessed enough, obviously, to be on the side with me behind that veil to see me trying to do the self work too. So I've always been that friend that if I know the answer, I'ma share it with you. And a lot of times people don't receive that because again, we come up in such an unauthentic space a lot of times. Everybody putting out information, everybody this what you should do, everybody da 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 da. But me, I'm giving that opinion and that advice based off of results, right? We know it can be medicine, it can be weight loss, it can be anything. We know results may vary, but I'm still giving you this game based off of real life results, not off ego. And we live in these spaces where when I start seeing, hey, I'm giving you this advice, I'm giving you this game, and you don't receive it, no, we acquaintances because I was raised in the house as the little brother, and whatever my brothers told me, you thought it was Bible. It took me to get older where I'm like, man, you don't know everything, right? Because you have a blind trust and a
Yeah.
love because I know you want the best for me. But then you as you age, you develop an understanding and a discernment like, hey, there's more than two ways to skin a cat. So even if I take this good game, it may lead me to a fork in the road where I have to make a decision applicable to where I'm at. But these cats won't even take it. They won't even take it. And then they go back and act like you don't know what you talking about, but you got the results. So nah, but I say all that to say, but we got to be comfortable, man. We love the rap and we love all these sayings and we make them quotes and memes and all of that. Everybody can't go. And I think that when we see these situations play out in real time, it's still all love, but I distance myself because, what I want for me and my family and those I love, that don't change. But I'm not carrying nobody, and I can't want what I think you should have for you more than you want that for yourself. So peace be with you.
Peace be with you, dog. You out of control.
Uh,
But you said a whole lot. One of the things you touched on was it goes back to that integrity line, bro. I think it's very important that we try to have these things, these levels of integrity, and like you said, with the results speaking for themselves, because yeah, we leaders in our household, so we try to be leaders in our community. We try to teach, and like I said, each one teach one, pull each other up. Like, hey, bro, I see you going this way, so I'm gonna pull you this way. You know what I'm saying? And it's like some people be resistant to that change. Like, no, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. But I'm trying to bring it all back to what you were saying. But some people be resistant to that. But I think as we age, we have to remain malleable and teachable. Like you said, we don't know it all. I don't know it all, but I know a lot, and my results speak to me knowing a lot. You know what I mean? And with me having the level of integrity that I have, I'm trying to, and I see my brother going the wrong direction. I'm gonna pull you in and be like, hey, bro, you don't got to do that, because all this lying and even the little white lies, it's not going to lend you the results that you think that it's going to lend you. Being honest and truthful with yourself, and maintaining being malleable, being teachable, is gonna yield you better results than thinking you can't be told anything, or that I will tell you a lie because I want to see you fail, or because I'm hating. Because if you know me personally, that's not what I'm doing. I'm if I see you going a certain way, I'm gonna give you like, hey, bro, you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? I don't care what it is, whether it's career oriented, whether it's relationship oriented, whatever the case may be. I've been through a lot, so I'm gonna tell you, hey, this is gonna yield you that results if you keep doing it. And 9 times out of 10, I love to admit that when I'm wrong. When I'm wrong, I'm like, oh, you know what, hey, bro, I'm glad that I was wrong in that instant. But 9 times out of 10, I'm spot on. You know what
that
I'm
part.
saying? So I'm telling you, because it's like, hey, bro, I see what you're doing over there with that girl. That girl ain't for you. I see what you're doing over there with that career. Hey, you keep moving like this in your career, you're gonna have this, because I've watched you. The way you do one thing is how you do everything, and I'm a strong believer in that. So if I see you maneuvering a certain way, I'm gonna try to pull your coattail. I'm trying not to give examples. So that
And here go the thing too, that with that, we kind of got to speak to from a responsibility standpoint, is that, hey, having a bunch of bodies and really lacking that much sexual discipline as a grown man is corny, in the sense of most of these dudes only do that. Y'all ain't benefiting that woman. You ain't helping her build nothing, and she ain't helping you build nothing. All y'all doing is having sex. That's corny. We did that when we didn't know better as teenagers, right? As you trying to find your identity as a man, that was wrapped up in a lot of our identities is sleeping with multiple women or dating, whatever
yep, not
it
having
was, but
sexual
it was
discipline.
centered around women and multiples of women. Well, now you fast forward our age, late 20s. Nah, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him some bail. Later 30s and up. What we doing here? What we doing here? Now y'all be having these gender wars because there be so much lousiness on both sides where nobody's willing to build. Because if I'm messing with you and you some executive or you some boss female, I'm trying to see how I can level up, but I'm also gonna be beneficial to you,
That part.
right? Most men or women just see that executive and want to be taken care of. That's corny to me, right? That just don't benefit nobody.
Yeah, and the funny thing about you saying about the gender war thing, I can definitely see the women arguments, the side of the argument, because so many men are broken and led by broken men that all they know is to be not disciplined sexually. So now it's like, I'm gonna go around here, sleep around, I'm gonna tell lies. I'm not even gonna be truthful about, hey, I'm trying to figure out what I'm got going on right here. I'm trying to date people. I love you, and I on my daddy I love you, on my dead daddy I love you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen men go to some extreme with lying to women, and then obviously women like all niggas do is lie. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, there's some truth to that. Like I'm just keeping it a buck. It's some truth to that, and that's part of being a player that people don't speak about. Like when you a player, it's hey, tell the truth and you're gonna get results. You can get the same results. You ain't got to lie to get results. That's not being a player. You know what I mean? So,
Bro, listen.
go ahead.
And to your point, I'm sorry to interrupt,
Mm.
but yes. So that's how I came up. Most people don't know my story, but real quick, not to go too long.
Mm-hmm.
I was just raised by a super fly father. His wife, my mother, passed when I was 4 years old. I had two older brothers. My daddy was a pimp before he met my mother and her 9 brothers. He changed, a hustler, all that stuff. I say that to say I come up under that tutelage, and at the end of the day, how I learned the game was you didn't lie. You got your way by telling the truth because the lie created so many barriers. Now you defending the lie, you getting off the purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you defending the lie, and more so a person's mad because you lied because you should have just told the truth anyway.
Right.
Because you really were that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now you not that guy because you had to lie.
Yep.
So when we start to lie and manipulate and all of that, that's because we lazy and you really not that guy and you don't think you that guy because if you thought you were that guy,
You wouldn't
you
have to
knew I
lie.
could tell you the truth
Mm-hmm.
and I would have had my way either way because I'm that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody was raised a little bit different, bro, but it really come back to everything we've been talking about. When you talk about the Fred Hamptons of the world and all of those people, man, they were standing on truth and enlightenment, and they were powerful, bro. You saw it in what they said and how they looked,
Mm-hmm.
right, up until now,
Yeah.
right? Where again, yeah, how low hanging fruit is a woman or a man to see a person of the opposite sex with a Gucci on their shirt and think that that's corny.
Mm-hmm.
You would you even really want somebody like that? Well, yeah, you probably do if you just want to bust their guts in.
Right.
But that's it, because nobody want to build nothing, right? And it's like it's weird. Dudes be out here messing with the chicks and females. We know historically females get taken care of. I don't know why we so offended by that, right? I take care of my wife. She take care of thousands of things. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how that really go. That's the natural order of things. I bring these groceries home. You gonna make a meal, right? So we get so far away from all this stuff, bro. And oh, excuse me. Cats don't want to take accountability, so they lie because it's lousy. Cats don't want to have a real brotherhood because they lousy.
Mm-hmm.
And cats don't want to show up for themselves.
Yeah.
Most importantly, because they just lousy, bro. And it's easy to be a sucker.
Yep. It's super easy. And like I said, I've gotten better results being truthful than lying in life, especially as an adult. And when it comes to dealing with multiple partners or whatever the case may be, I got better results by being truthful. When I lied, it definitely didn't work out in my favor. You know what I'm saying? So that just speaks to that. But also, like I said, I said earlier, I can see the women's side of it, but I can see the men's side of it because like I said, everybody just walking around hurt. So then you get women that's hurt by men. So then they come on the other side and they like, oh, this about this and the third and this and the third. But the thing about it is yeah, you got that results over here at this one time, but sometimes you gotta pivot away from that and start doing stuff a little bit different because you continue that cycle of hurt. Nobody's gonna ever heal. You know what I'm saying? Like you never gonna heal. So sometimes you gotta say, hey, I'm gonna come over here to this environment and see what's shaking over here. That way I can move out of this perpetual cycle of dealing with the same type of people that I've dealt with and having the same results. You know what I mean? So
Yep. Absolutely.
yeah, you got to change that environment a little bit.
Yep.
We'll go deeper down on a Patreon episode, but I want to touch on that a little bit. But it all lends to the culture of people being lousy because, like I said, we get lied to as well as men and having brothers and people that we consider friends and family and stuff like that. They'll lie right to our face. We're like, damn, bro, you ain't even have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't even have to do that, bro. But yeah, moving right along.
Anywho,
you want to talk about AI because it's a trend that's going around that you keep seeing that you mentioned earlier, and it's wild to me because we always use technology with we use well, we started off hip hop in the right direction. So I won't demonize hip hop, but we use podcasts, we use cameras, we use that at the lowest level that we can use it, bro. Now AI is out, and people are using AI at the lowest level they can they can use it. And you want to speak to that, so I'm gonna let you cook on this one.
So what he's referring to, people, is y'all been seeing the memes going around where the people like girl or boy, whatever. They like you taking compliments from an AI photo like that ain't you. Like, no, you really big. Like, you don't own one casual business suit, but now your avatar in the business suit, hair comb, contour done. That is
Nah,
not you.
nah,
Stop taking compliments for for a cartoon. That ain't you.
no, that's the equivalent of adults playing with Barbies, bro. I said it. I said, dog, I said it's a pending race war outside, and your baby daddy on Facebook turned himself into an action figure.
That part. that
Dog, like,
part.
what is going on, dog? Listen, dog. Listen, AI is such a powerful tool, man. Like, y'all are using this the wrong way, bro. Stop wasting your time. Yeah, listen, bro. I've seen people use AI to corroborate data on stock investment. I've seen people use AI to get themselves. They'll put their macros or their current weight, and AI spit out a plan for them to lose weight. I've seen people use AI in so many constructive ways, fam. We use it at such a low level, like using it to create I mean, and mind you, I ain't just talking about our community. I've seen everybody do it. I've seen people take photos and make memes of their coworkers and whatnot. I've seen people take it and do the action figure stuff. All of it's corny, fam. It's a powerful tool, bro. We got to start thinking at a higher level. Like I got a homeboy who he came up with a whole. He asked Chat GPT how could he get out of his 9 to 5 and make $1 million in a year, and it spit out him a whole plan on something very practical to do. But that was a prompt that he used, and I thought that was fine. This is somebody that's like a straight up hood dude, you know what I'm saying? And like he's trying to use it to change his reality, you know what I mean? And he's working towards that now. So with that business plan that AI spit out to him, ChatGPT is a really, really powerful tool. We got to stop using it at such a low hanging fruit level. You know what I mean?
So what he's saying, guys, is that you got to raise your vibration
Bing, bing,
because
bing.
Chat GPT only gonna respond to your cognitive level. So if you action it ABC 1 2 3, it's gonna respond in that way. I also would encourage people, business owners. We've run our SOPs, our standard operating procedures through chat. And to see if it can clean up or make it more efficient or make it, more layman's term, which be good for your employees, and it'll do all of that type of stuff. So absolutely, you can do exactly what Jerome mentioned. But again, the accountability piece, because we in a world, man, where we can't get away from it. So the sooner that we embrace it and understand, hey, you can put it on God, but God, like, hey, I done gave y'all everything y'all need, right? Like we gotta just stop waiting on other people, friends, bros, cousins, sis, whoever, and do stuff for ourselves. When the last time you took the initiative, right? But that's what Chat GPT is for. You have an idea, put it in there, right? Do a little bit of research, right? Go outside of your thinking. Challenge yourself to think deeper. We got all these tools and these resources. It just ain't no excuse. Real quick story, kind of off topic, but it made me think of it. My son, he a freshman in high school, he taking French. And I'm like, it's funny because as much as, for me at least, I don't live vicariously through my kids. I'm gonna give you this game, but make the decisions you want to make because at the end of the day, I'm gonna give you my experience and my game, and you take that and master your life. It ain't about me living the life twice. But anyhow, the parallel still be crazy because I took French in high school. Now he taking French. I never mentioned I took French. Anyhow, he got like a B, and I'm like, hey, you should have an A and you should be fluent because now you got Duolingo. You got all these apps. You got a curriculum. It is laying it down. You have a learning agility. You ain't paying bills. You ain't doing nothing else. We went to Chat GPT. If you can study this and work on this 30 minutes a day, by the end of the school year, you will be fluent and you won't forget it because you 15 years old. It's going to stick with you. And so that's how I know that to be true what you said
Mm-hmm.
because the opportunity now and the information, if we take a accountability to the things we really want to do, bro, it's up.
That
It's
part.
really up.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Facts.
gonna teach me and my kids. I'm like, bro, you gonna come home and tutor us.
Mm-hmm.
We gonna be speaking French when we go out in public.
Yeah, and like I said, bro, you can't escape it nowadays, bro. It's here. We can talk about the morality aspect of it, where AI gets its data from, all this type of stuff, bro. The amount of power that it uses, bro. In a minute, we're gonna have nuclear plants in America that's gonna be running these data centers that fuel AI. So y'all might as well get with the program, fam. Like y'all might like start using it, use it as a tool, use it as that's all this stuff. It's basically gonna augment our intelligence, fam. You know what I'm saying? That's what the iPhone is for. I say y'all be asking people be asking me questions. Hey Jerome, how you do this and that, bro? I YouTube University, Google, Chat GPT, fam. All the tools for your whatever you're trying to accomplish in life is right there in your pocket. You have a damn supercomputer in your pocket, bro. It used to take a damn data center as big as my house to do 4+4 when I was a kid growing up, you know what I'm saying? To get one simple equation, and now all this stuff is in the power of our pocket, bro. With these iPhones and Samsung, whatever your device is you're carrying around, you literally got a supercomputer in your pocket. And then I don't know if y'all even seen like with the new Apple headphones and whatnot, like I mean with the AirPods. I said Apple headphones. I sound like an old man. You know the new Apple headphones. You know the things that
The
everybody walk
thing,
around. Hey, yeah, that part. But the new AirPods, fam, the AirPod Pros, like they got live translators in them. You know what I'm saying? Now you gotta have a phone. You gotta be sitting in conversation distance from a person and have a phone close enough to them where it can translate in real time. But nonetheless, bro, that's the future that we heading towards. So you know what I'm saying? Even with your son taking French, it's gonna be pretty much obviously it'd be dope that he learned it. Mind you, I'm never taking nothing away from that. But at some point in time, bro, we gonna be able to just walk around and people be speaking a different language and it'll be real time translating it at some point. And that's the beginning of it now. That just came out with the new the AirPods. But either way, it's dope. Apple,
yep.
y'all can pay me too. I'm gonna stop talking about these products and these services until somebody pay me.
That's what I was thinking. But anywho,
But anywho, but yeah, we like I said, you can't escape it nowadays, and so many people, oh, I'm so scared of it. And I'm like this and this that, and the third, and bro, this has been coming. It started with the self checkout lanes. That was the first integration of AI in our real life. So now we starting to see it come to fruition in real time, man. You can't escape it. So use it at a higher vibration. I thought that was a really good point that you said, bro.
with that, just to piggyback that last statement about those earphones, headphones, whatever. That's where we got to be careful too, because we so lousy and so lazy. We start to rely on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff you can do yourself, do it yourself. Learn those trades yourself. Then, as stuff come on to assist you, you can use it as a tool versus being dependent. Because you see it, people now, with Chat GPT. Hey, you can't. It ain't gonna give you all the answers. You gotta prompt it in a way where it leads you to the answers. And that's just what we got to be careful with the AI. It's like, hey, I need to know or have a general understanding of XYZ before I think somebody just gonna magically come and make me rich or make me fluent or make me, aware. So
Right.
that's it.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it. No, that's it. That's it. Point blank period. That's it. But TikTok, you brought up
Woo.
earlier. You said that is that the new wave? Um, I I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. I've been thought TikTok was the new wave. It like all this Meta and Threads, Twitter, Facebook. They dying, bro. These are dying. The corporations are so smart though that they are reinventing themselves and they starting to do other things and pivot away from especially Meta. Meta is doing a lot, but they pivot away from a certain thing. But TikTok to me has always been the future. I think that was why the American government tried to have it shut down because it wasn't an American company. You know what I mean? So that was why they attacking it, and then they were saying, hey, well. They phone it home. TikTok is sending our data back to China. Of course, it's a 3D printing company out here called Bamboo Labs, and they doing some. They got caught doing some of the same stuff, taking data and information and sending it back to China. You know what I mean? It was a China based company. So yeah, that's where we at. That's where the new fronts that these wars are going to be fought on and stuff like that. It's all digital and trying to take down the economies and cripple companies through data and IT. But I've always thought TikTok was the future, and that's why America was pushing so hard against it and trying to get an American seller for it to operate here on the United States side, American buyer for it to operate here on the American front. But yeah, to your point, I've always felt that way. But I don't know if I went off on a tangent too much. It kind of took some of your talking points, but that you brought that up, and I just thought about that. Like that was where we at with TikTok.
Yeah, you nailed it. And
Mm-hmm.
with that, just to add, um, it shows how the world is transforming and starting to learn. So I think first off, once we realize what that is, we need to understand as adults, we should probably understand that nothing is ever one way. But what you're seeing now is communication is in short video form, right? You get all that information, but we still gotta, hey, go open up a book too. You know what I'm saying? Go do some research too and actually read so that you can develop the ability to understand context. Because TikTok is all short form. It's easy just to mindlessly watch 10 seconds, 15 seconds here. Cool. But we even seen with some of these politicians, man, they be lying. So
Mm.
them stats that they throw, if you never will really go check the census and places where the real unbiased data is, because they actually track that, you would never know. If I can speak well, I can tell you right now, 60% of people like me, they succeed 100% of the time. Yeah, they do because I said it. So nah.
60%. I'm like, hold on a second. I was like, you spitting real fat. Call me slipping for a minute.
Yeah, yeah. And they be on there, they put their hands together, so, they be lying.
They be
They be
lying, bro. They
lying.
be lying.
And it's all emotional targeting marketing.
Yeah,
That's all it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
You're an emotional target.
That part.
They doing it with the race stuff now. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, I'm an advocate to say I've lived in environments where the culture has truly been a melting pot, you know, all sorts of places. And at the end of the day, you know, places I've been blessed to be a part of, I can tell you that there ain't a lot of outliers, right? There may be some people that lean this way, like, yeah, I can understand that, but that's too far on either side of whatever the argument is.
Mm-hmm.
But the media and how they portray it is everybody's on the outside, the most radical, the most that stuff just be a lie.
It'd be a complete lie.
Be a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's something I've definitely noticed. So, I mean, as a student of sociology, I've noticed that a long time ago. That no, it's just all these communities is lying. Like I said, the statistics are
Mm-hmm.
misleading. You got to understand that it's only these. They take a large group of people and they ask them these questions or they get information on them, they get data on them. But largely it'd be a lie because a lot of stuff that is being spouted ain't even tracked. You know what I mean?
That
So
part.
so you gotta understand what you listen to. But a lot of people don't critically think. I said
Mm-mm.
this a long time ago when they took that little section out the end of our textbooks where it was like where they would ask you questions about what you read and they had a critical thinking part and they would ask you a question to get you to critically think. Once they took that out of textbooks, bro, it was done. Nobody made that. So now you just believe in everything that you hear for face value instead of doing because nobody got time enough or even care enough to do the research. To be like, okay, let me Google this statistic. Let me see who performed the study to get these statistics and blah 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 blah. But nobody even cares enough to do that. You know what I mean? And I think that was one thing that we definitely have to get back to. Like I said, everybody walking around with these computers in their pocket and refuse to do a Google search. You can ask Siri real quick. I asked Siri. Me and you were talking the other day, and I was talking about how if you make over $20,000, that you make more than like 70% of the world. And I was like, where did I get that statistic from? You know what I mean? So I asked Siri real quick. I'm like, hey Siri, she gonna pop up on my phone. I'm like, what is the median income for the world? And it was like, I can't track those. I don't have the information to give you that statistic, but this is what this website says. And it says that the median income across the world is like $9,000 or something like that. But I was like, where did I get the statistic that's saying that 70% if you make $20,000? Somebody said that somewhere just spotted it out and it sounded
Yeah.
like facts. It stuck with me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I was like, no, let me ask the actual question and do my research on this. You know what I mean? So
I'll tell you what, too. Last on that topic for me is that, hope is the easiest thing to sell and the most ridiculous thing to buy.
hope is the say that one more time. That was a bar.
Hope is the easiest thing to sell and the most ridiculous thing to buy.
Hmm. Expound.
When you look at now, whether it's TikTok, whether it's any marketing, it's all an emotional ploy, right? You can do better because what we all have in common is we want a better future. But we don't look at the tangible things of what hope should inspire or cultivate, right? Yeah, I hope to do this, I hope to do that. Well, I hope to drive a semi, but I don't got a CDL or never learned to drive trucks. So it's just stupid,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, it comes a point where logically we have to understand that no, we got to take real steps and we got to put real practices in place over time to produce whatever we aspire to do. It ain't just hope. It just ain't gonna happen because you feel warm and fuzzy about it. And that's all everything is. It's almost like people be stuck on act like they manifesting. Man, if y'all don't go, we all will be rich. We all will be rich. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You manifesting. It don't. Especially when you think about statistics, right? And who knows what that really is, but we wouldn't have homeless people. Them people ain't manifest and want to be homeless and sit around and want to be drug addicts. You know what happened? Whatever circumstances, unfortunate or not, they made some choices that they probably would take back. And that's just the reality. The same way with people, whether you're a first generation, second generation millionaire, etc., somebody at some point made a good choice, right? And the choice being good is only relative to them and that success. Because again, with that, we live in a world too where a good choice for me could be a shit choice for your family as far as the results and outcome. So I'm merely talking about just success in a vacuum because that's what everybody, try to obtain, and that's the goal, being successful, having money. Well, you can hope all you want about that, boo.
Yeah. Oh, and this is the only thing I will push back on as far as hope go, because hope can, if you, whether you religious, whether you want to manifest something, having that hope and aspiring to something is powerful. But like I said, if you a Christian, y'all probably heard the scripture: hope, faith without works is dead. So you do have to put in what Lamar is speaking to is you definitely have to put in work. You can hope in one hand and shit in the other and see what happened first. You see what I'm saying? But like you literally have to you have to put the work in to get what you aspire for. And because I believe it's some I believe it's power in wanting to do something, having trying to manifest it or praying on it. I believe it's power in that because what your mindset can become a reality. You know what I mean? But you have to put the work in. You can't just hope and nothing happen. Because I'm a product of walking by faith, and so that's why I'm speaking to that. Because all growing up, like I said, I'm from the hood, bro. I didn't have much at all. I didn't know how to get it. Didn't have an opportunity. But I was like, if I do this, I think this can lead to a good result. So like if you're gonna hope, remember that you have to do practical things to actually take steps forward. So I do. That's the only thing I will push back on that side of it. But
And
I understand
I
what you were saying.
appreciate that because
Yeah,
that opens a conversation.
yeah.
But I want to be clear too. No, you should hope. You should have faith. But my key thing I said before is that it's the easiest
Easiest
thing
things
to
to sell.
sell.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You
That's a
shouldn't
fact.
buy that.
Yeah, that
You
part.
shouldn't buy that, right? Me realizing where I want to be and what I want for me and my family, that's all the hope I need.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Me being exposed to, hey, my brother got an Olympic sized pool in his backyard, right? Hey, that I may be hopeful that, hey, I can have a pool in my home, right? You didn't sell me anything. I didn't buy anything,
Right,
right?
right.
There's a hope for a better future. But the problem is, I was piggybacking off the TikTok, et cetera, is that we allowing people to sell us stuff and we buying it instead of putting in the work.
Yeah, yeah.
So keep your hope, keep your faith. Absolutely, use that as a drive, but stop paying for it. You shouldn't have to buy hope.
Yeah. Hey, bro, you just triggered me with that damn pool, and I'm finna go off on a tangent right quick. man, dog. So, like, I got a lot of greenery in my backyard, dog. Like that, I think having a pool and having a bunch of bushes and trees. I mean, that dog. It took me and my son an hour to clean that pool yesterday, bro. That damn filters was so dirty, bro. Like I was like, God dang, bro, because normally I just buy new filters, but I do know that you can clean them. But to me, it's just quicker to just replace because they ain't that expensive. They're only like $110 for the filters the cartridge filters that I need. So every summer I just replace them. And normally when it's fall time here in Texas, they'll last through the fall. But I noticed my pool has started getting some algae buildup. So I'm like, God, bro, I'm like, bro, I'm really gonna have to do all this. So me and my son go out there, bro. I drain the filter. We clean the filters out, vacuum the pool, get all the leaves and stuff out of there, bro. And bro, it took us an hour and a half yesterday just to do that, bro. It normally take me about 10 minutes to clean my pool. I was like, man, I said I'm about to start hiring somebody again.
Hey, hey guys, hey listeners, ask them, man, is you bragging or is you complaining?
I'm both. I'm doing both right now. I'm bragging and complaining. Hey, dog.
All you hot brokies right now, spam
spam,
the chat.
spam the chat. Hey, but one thing I will say though is, I was, well, and this is how practical I look at life. Because when we was out there doing it, like my son had never seen me take apart the filter. Normally I go out there and do it by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was like, son, I said, I said these could be a very valuable skill. I said, bro, people get paid to do this. I said, if football don't work out or whatever you trying to do in life, I'm like, you can always start a pool cleaning company. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, this is how you learn right here. Taking this apart, learning how I got to drain this filter. I got to rinse these, clean the skimmers out like this. I got to drain the filter like this. I got to, X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, this is how you learn, and this is become something practical that you can use because most people ain't cleaning their pool themselves unless you're a suburban father. You know what I'm saying? That's just real talk. Look, this ad that came on back there. I don't know what's going on. Let me put my hand over the screen so YouTube know. So YouTube don't flag me. Let me put my hand over the screen. But anyway, but back to what I was saying about that, it was just at that time I was like, bro, this is something practical that I could teach my son, and he can learn valuable lesson in this. You know what I mean? So because he loved doing that type of stuff with me. Most kids would complain, but I'm very blessed that my son liked to learn and spend time and build stuff and do stuff like that with me. You know what I mean? So it was a lesson, but it was definitely a little bit of bragging and complaining at the same time.
That part. I wasn't feeling too well yesterday, and I mowed my yard and all that stuff, or started. I got about 3/4 done, and I'm like, I took a break. My wife was like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really feel good." So she offered to finish mowing the yard. Absolutely not. No, you're not. No,
No,
you're
you're
not.
not. No, you're not.
No, you're not. But I let my 15-year-old son do it. I went out there and coached him up. He actually did a good job. So I'm like, dang, that'd be that little stuff, man, where you be like, at some point you forget that, hey, it's for you to pass stuff along.
Right.
Back to the pool thing. And it's like, hey, I'm going to be out here doing this because it needs to be done, and I can make sure it's doing right. But I know it felt good when you can get them out there and show them. And then now, hopefully, that's something at some point where, man, these dudes got the agility.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's your job and you do it, because the way he cut that grass, I'm like,
Yeah. Hey, listen.
I'm like, okay.
Hey, listen. Hey, listen. My son, I had the same thing, bro. So that, like you was telling me how to get the stripes in the yard, and I'm like, and I'm like, all right. So I'm gonna try it. And I was out there cutting. And I showed him because normally this one side of our house, we got a damn like electrical box. I don't even know what the hell it's for. It's like it's in the middle of my fucking yard. Excuse my language. It's in the middle of my yard, bro, and it just drives me crazy because like you got to cut around. There's some conduits there and all type of stuff. So I got to weed eat around it to get the grass to look even on that side. But whatever. Make a long story short, like Amir always make the lines crooked on that side. So I'm like, dog. I'm like, all right. I'm just gonna do it myself. I'm gonna try to stripe it though, like Bernard told me. Dog, so I told Amir, I was like, okay. So when you do it like this. Put the wheel not on the same line. Put it in the middle, bro. I came back outside because I had walked away. I came back outside, bro. He had stripes all in my yard. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like okay. I'm like, right. I started. I'm like, all right, okay. I'm like, no, you cook, son. I'm like, yeah, you cook with that.
You want some Chick-fil-A?
Right? Yeah. What you want? What you want for dinner? But I think that was the because he asked me. He was like, Dad, are you cooking? And I think that was the day I made the pot roast and everything for him because he asked me what I was cooking.
Yeah, facts. Good job, son.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. You saved my back.
Hey, now he got the lawn care company and the
right,
pool
and the
thing. I
pool
just
company.
do it all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. Like, but like I said, that practical stuff, and because I'm sorry, bro. And I don't know if my goals are unrealistic or whatnot, but I don't want my son working a 9 to 5. I don't think he have to. I'm like, bro, I don't want you. No, son, you 16. You want? Yeah, I guess you can get your first job to kind of know how the paperwork fill out and W-2s and all that type of stuff. But I don't want that for him. I want you to be an entrepreneur. It's like you got the tools. Like you know what I mean. You don't have to. Mm-hmm. You don't have to come out of school and try to work a 9 to 5. I don't want that for my kids at all. I want them to have an entrepreneurial spirit because there's too much money to be made out here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to teach them young, on stuff to do like that because I just don't want. And I think the only practical way I know how to do is to show them what I know how to do with my hands.
Thanks. And I always be having this conversation in my house too. And it's like, for me, the progressive thought about it all too is that, I want to create an environment of structured and control adversity, right? Because a lot of people had an argument, well, he needs to see what's out there. I don't agree. I think that's what's wrong with the world too, is that it's too much information. You expose it too much, so you become desensitized. I
Mm-hmm.
want excellence to be the standard, where anything outside of that in their minds is weird,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
For them,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, nah, we just ain't going for any of that. So for me, it's like, hey, be a good person. Learn how to identify other good people. And then as you do that, what's your skill set? What you want to do? You master, you become good at that.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be somebody in whatever you're doing looking to be taught how to do it.
Yeah.
We're not lazy. So you take the steps of figuring it out and being the mastery of that. And then you create a space or an environment where people can be taught. And that's where you make money. And in my opinion, that's where you also keep the freedom. Because most of the time we only push certain, 9 to 5s or jobs, et cetera, is because so a person can afford to buy bullshit anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got a rich spirit where you're not driven and just motivated by all materialistic things, don't mean you ain't gonna want some fly stuff. But if that's not your sole motivation, you'll have all the fly stuff you want.
Yeah, I want to back it up a little bit because you said something. You say this a lot, and I love it. I think it's like it's such a bar. You said can create an environment of controlled adversity, right?
Yep.
So I'm just gonna give an example because this is a millionaire lady. Her name is Susie Orman. She probably worth like 50 million, but she fly private, all this type of stuff. But I remember one of the things that she said on the interview one time was that she that the best thing her parents ever gave her was poverty. She didn't grow up with a silver spoon in her mouth. You know what I mean? She got her start in Chicago, and she was a waitress, and she just provided service for these clients over these years that was so exponential that they. When she got ready to lead a restaurant, they just started giving her cash, and she said that she would pay everybody back when she became an entrepreneur, and she eventually did that. Let her tell it. That's her side of the story.
Right.
But yeah, she eventually did that. But she's a multimillionaire now, and you said that to me the other day. And because I was complaining about my son and his football team. Like I said, man, this coach don't want to give him no burn. And I'm like, he acting like he got a bunch of superstars out there. He got some good kids on the team, but nobody stands out to the point where it's like, oh, this kid is exponentially better than this other kid. You know what I mean? I'm like, my son is 6 foot. He's super athletic. He fast. I'm like, he plays safety. So I'm like, he like let him cook. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a skilled position like that. I'm like, let him cook. Let him get some burn. And I was like, man, I'm just gonna transfer him next year. And I remember you was like, bro, no, he needs that adversity. And you was like, bro, you've provided an environment for him where he got a pool in his backyard. He got this, that, and the third. You making life easy for him, but he needs that adversity. And when you said that, a light bulb went off on my head because I'm like, bro, we grew up in the hood, so we became monsters because of that adversity of growing up in the hood or growing up poor or lower class. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, we came through that adversity. So having that, like I said, that controlled adversity. It rang off, and then you gave me some other practical steps and stuff to do. But that rang in my mind, and so I stopped saying that to him. Hey, I'm gonna transfer your school. I'm gonna whatever. And I started seeing the elevation in his play. Now he's getting plenty of playing time. You know what I'm saying? He out there trying his hardest, everything like that. So I think it is something to be said to that. Instead of trying to run away from the grind and the hustle and adversity, sometimes we got to lean into it. Because it builds character and it makes for a better person. So, like I said, we'll expound on that later. But I love that bar, like controlled adversity. Like sometimes you don't want it just to be easy on your kids. You know what I mean? So you got to create that environment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when they're under your roof, you don't want life to be easy on them. So when they're in some of them pockets, hey, I can console you and walk you through this, because at some point I may not be here to do that, and life ain't gonna it ain't gonna get a verse.
Right.
It
Right.
ain't gonna not be a verse.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can do that now and I can walk you through that, what a blessing that is. And so especially when it come to those sports, you know, and again, I'm not gonna get on a high horse, but you see people reclassing and doing all this stuff with the kids. But in our community, one thing you see is they doing that for the kids that are good already. So why would you reclass them so now they can super dominate? It just don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if your kids sucked and now they wanted to play, I can see reclassing them, maybe the age or whatever, to get them more reps and get them ready. But most of the time, you watch this AAU basketball and all this stuff, the kids that get reclassed are already really good. If you really thinking that that's their stock because they coming out of this grade or whatever, and then now they gonna be that much better, no, because the reality of it is that on those levels that they coming from, it really don't matter.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Quentin Barfield. I was on the Barcode podcast. Hopefully, we can put the link in our bio or description of this video. But
Yeah,
I
for
went on
sure.
there and shared my story.
Mm-hmm.
And for a lot of you who may not know, you know, I ain't really play high school ball like that. I play AAU growing up. But man, I went on, with no scholarships, no recruitment, anything. And I was able to play at a Division II school, the best conference in the nation at the time, which is the MIAA. But I was at Emporia State University, man. I got a really good education free. I met great people. I was able to develop as a man, learn myself, etc. And at the end of the day, I didn't do none of those things. Those things aren't prerequisites. You don't have to do those things. So ultimately, you have to work. You got to put that work in. You know what I'm saying? And that just speaks to that. So anyway, we'll put that link in there. But really, that controlled adversity, man, it is for our communities. That's just so needed. The discipline is just so needed. And I think again, that's the bridge. Not just hope independently.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hope, it's the vision, it's the faith, but you got to have the work. You got to have the execution of the work. And then you got to have the consistency of the execution of the work. And it sounds crazy, but when we watch these millionaires, these billionaires, what they all have in common. I'm just a normal person. If I do it, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the reality,
Mm-hmm.
Because you probably feel like anybody else. We joke a lot about him having a pool just because it's fly for the record too. Just to he ain't super cocky and OC about it, but I'm gonna give him his flowers. He down in Austin in a very affluent neighborhood. He kicking ass and taking names and it's fly. But I
Mm-hmm.
say that to say him saying, "Hey, bro, you for my homeowners, you bought a house." So he really just bought a house, right? That's just it. That's the simplicity of it. But he was able to get the house he wanted,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why? Because of the vision, hope, or the faith, because of the work that he put in, because of the execution of the work he was doing, and he did over a period of time. You can't get away from that formula.
That
You just
part.
can't.
Not at all. And I appreciate them flowers too, bro.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Q Bar. Y'all definitely check out Burner on the what's it called? The Barcode Forum.
Yep. Yep.
Check out Burner on that podcast. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description. We're gonna have Q Bar on too. And one of these days we're gonna get him on. We'll get him on so he can talk about some of the things he got in the works. Also, bro, hey, listen, man, you got the new setup. You in a new spot. You got that nice Kobe commission piece behind you, bro. Can you speak to that a little bit? Because I thought that's such a dope piece.
So yeah, man. My brother got that for me for my birthday last year. Got a commission from my other brother, Jay Woods, Javon Woods. I'm gonna shout him out. Uh, he is a phenomenal artist. He got a couple other pieces that I want to show. If you know me or maybe follow kind of my journey, leading with Lamar's as the hashtag where I just try and show, practicality, my life, normal things at a high level, as I like to call it. But anyhow, he made that Mamba piece, and in the Mamba piece, how it was made is it depicts the correlation between me and Kobe Bryant. So it talks about, you know, leadership. It talks about family. It talks about belief. My collegiate number was 24 in honor of Kobe. So a bunch of different things. But yeah, that's a one of one. I also got a few Basquiat photos from him as well. So, but yeah, that's a Javon Woods piece, which again I think he has a website. We'll probably tag him, but he's a phenomenal artist.
Yeah. I love Javon Wood. I love all his work that I've seen. I definitely got to give me a piece commission for him. But I got the other goat behind me. That's this way. There he is, Jordan on that right
That
there.
part,
Yeah, the other goat right there. But
that part.
yeah, bro. Shout out to Javon, bro.
Real quick too,
Go ahead.
you know what's so crazy about just like these goats It's like their charisma, bro, that you can just see in some of the photographs, some of the photography, like them. No shade. I know some really good photographers, but it's the person. Like you can just that picture is one of my favorite sport photos of all time. Like that is such a fire piece. I'm gonna have him commission me something like that.
You talking,
Yeah, he's
you talking about the Jordan piece?
yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That, bro,
Yeah,
bro, I love it. I
yeah,
know y'all can't see it because the depth of field right now, like it's
yeah.
kind of blurred out. But I can't get the camera to focus on it right now because the way I'm set up. But no, I love that piece too. But that picture is so hard to me, bro.
So
It's
fire.
like one of the hardest pictures ever. But yeah, y'all check out Javon while we on sports. We all sports hip hop fans, so it's always gonna be talked about. The last thing, it's been a phenomenal year for music. Um, I want to say sports and entertainment. It's just been a great year, bro. Like it has. We in one of them rare times where we done got a lot of good movies that came out this year. The hip hop has been in a phenomenal space. It started off with the Clips. Still one of my favorite albums of the year. I just want to shout out Chance the Rapper, another great project. Bro, I can go on and on, man. But was it Don Tripp and Starlito? Step Brothers. I love that project from this year. I don't even know if that was from this year or if it was from last year, but they did release a deluxe and it was fire. We still got so much more to go, but it's been a great year in music, bro. And I really been enjoying it, especially where hip hop is at. Of course, R&B been good for like the last 5 years, so I ain't taking none from R&B, but I've been loving hip hop and the space that it's in right now. Yeah, I definitely just want to shout out that, but on the other end, I know other podcasts have covered it in depth, bro. But Murder Mook versus what's his name, bro? Can't think his name right now.
Hitman.
Hitman Holla. That's right. Murder Mook versus Hitman Holla. Bro, I hadn't seen a rap like a rap battle that good in such a long time, bro. I love that. I don't know who that company is that produced it because I don't really follow the companies that produce those battle raps anymore like I used to back in the day. But I love the fact that they released it the next day right on YouTube. I'm starting to see a lot more people realize the value in YouTube. So I'm glad that it came right to YouTube. But bro, on top of that, just a phenomenal battle, bro. Like that was one of the ones that we needed to kind of reinvigorate the sport to where it's at right now. And I hope we get more. I like the way they controlled the crowd. They didn't let the crowd get too OC. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see the other events from that night, but that was one of my favorite ones in recent years. Was Mook versus Hitman Holla. Y'all can check that out on YouTube right now as well.
Real quick, just to throw that out there for the people, it wasn't Smack. It was actually produced and hosted by the Takeover.
The
The
takeover.
Takeover,
Okay.
yeah, the Takeover is their battle league. So
Okay.
they did a really good job. Shout out to Takeover.
They did a phenomenal job. I'm telling you, that was one of the best produced. The way they control the crowd, all that, like that's. I think that was a perfect setup for the way battle rap should continue to go. You know what I mean? So,
Agreed.
yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, Murder Mook was in some of the best shape battles wise that I've seen in a long time. So
Me and
he looked
Ron
really
gonna
good.
have a rap battle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Episode 3 as we back. I'm gonna bar him up.
Nah, you don't want, hey, you done seen my work before. You don't want to do that with me. I'm a veteran in this, bro. I'm gonna hurt your feelings, bro. You do not want to do that. Hey, I was on my old Facebook, dog. I was like, dog, I was out of control. In 2000, in the early 2000s, I was out of control, dog. So,
All
yeah.
you gotta do is channel your inner kid. You know, kids to say anything.
I no, nope.
That's why your mama lights got cut off.
So your mama lights got cut off.
Like, oh, really?
Yeah. No, they would absolutely say anything, dog. But man, dog, hey, it feels good to be back, man. I ain't as rusty as I thought I would be, but it definitely feel good to be back. I got to get used to doing this early as we doing this because normally I'm used to doing it in the evening, so I'm a little bit more awake.
Hey, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I appreciate you guys expecting a lot from us.
that part.
You know, we plan to deliver.
Oh, that part for sure. Like, hey, dog, I just saw that little barrel behind you. I got distracted because what'd you have in there, dog? He's becoming a barista, a bartender. And
I appreciate that, bro.
What's the joint you got in there?
That was where I housed my Manhattans.
Manhattans, that's
So
what
I had
it was.
I had a house in Manhattan. I had it in the oak barrel back there, and You know,
Yeah, no, that bro, that's a fire drink, bro. They put me on that when I was there. I normally don't really. I'm not a too much. I just give me something
yeah.
straight and a chaser. Like I drink tequila straight. Just give me some limes and some salt. I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I normally drink whiskey straight as well. But that Manhattan was fire, bro. Like that's a
Listen,
good go to drink.
we had some family over last night. Really, my brother and his wife, pretty much. But anyhow, so now I'm gonna have to introduce you to. I do a old fashioned, which normally they use whiskey. I use tequila.
Okay.
It's a certain type of tequila you want to do, but
Okay.
man, probably drunk 10 of them. He was like, bro, these are I can't. They're phenomenal,
Yeah,
smooth.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and the type of tequila that I use in mine, I won't say the brand because I'm yeah. Don't steal the swag. You got to get it at Casa de Wilbur only.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's a certain tequila I use, and it's definitely a clean tequila, so no additives or preservatives, so no hangovers or nothing because you
yeah.
gonna be feeling really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it was phenomenal, bro, phenomenal. So I'm excited to host you,
Yeah.
so you can taste one because it's, bruh.
I got a new cognac too that somebody put me on. It's not very expensive either. I'm gonna send you the name of it as well. It was it was
Okay,
it was it was really good.
okay.
I was shocked because I mean it's cognac got that particular taste. I'm not a fan of Remy.
Hmm.
Hennessy is disgusting, but it's my favorite cognac. It's just disgusting. I just like because it gets you ripped. but this joint is kind of like. It's kind of like if Remy and Hennessy had a baby. And I'm gonna send it to you because it's
Mm,
decent. If anybody wanted, y'all can inbox me. But I'm not telling you on the air because this ain't an
that part.
ad.
You know what too? I was thinking back too. I was like, man, we used to drink Hennessy, and I was like, yeah, we also used to like Bone Crusher too.
Right. Ugh.
Like,
Ugh. No, don't give me the reminiscing about none of that alcohol we used to drink, bro. I used to bumpy face,
ugh.
Belvedere. I'm like, bro, some of the most disgusting stuff I ever had in my life, bro. Patron. All my Patron drinkers, I'm sorry if I'm offending. That is disgusting, bro. Like I can
Oh
just go
yeah.
on and on about just like some
Mm-mm.
rot gut, just nasty. I'm starting to believe, bro. Like if alcohol has a commercial, we probably shouldn't have been drinking.
That part. That
That's how
part.
I'm starting to feel now as a 40-year-old man. It's like, bro, probably shouldn't have been drinking if we got a commercial.
And I don't know how this is gonna show up on the screen, but I got some alcohol on my bar now. I got some more in the actual bar chest, but that was just kind of an aesthetic thing. But some of that stuff up there, I'm not gonna drink. It's
Yeah,
just up
it's
there
just up there for
for
aesthetics.
the
Yeah,
aesthetics of it. Like I
yeah.
got some white Hennessy up there. You ain't gonna catch me drinking a white Hennessy. Hennessy just trash to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but what you said. So I also want to send you a cognac too, because I'm real particular about my liquor now.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I don't drink a ton no more. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really like a weekend hosting type drinker.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
and the wife go out, go for on a date type drinker.
Mm-hmm.
So since I don't drink as frequent, it got to be quality.
You're right. Facts. Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
then you come to find out quality don't always come with a price tag. It's some stuff super overly
that
priced.
part right there.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
got tequila that I can recommend if they were paying us. But
Yeah.
I got some tequila, bro, that literally will knock the boots off of
Mm-hmm.
Don Julio, all of that stuff. Like you would
Yeah.
never drink that stuff again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's a fraction of the cost.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that to me the other day about it was because I was like I drink tequila and it was like you ever had the was it the Class Azul? I'm like yeah I had. They said it's overpriced. I'm like bro I
Trash.
was like bro I'm a big guy. I'm like it takes a lot to even just get me a buzz. I'm like I'm not gonna spend $250 on a bottle of Luna Azul,
Mm-mm.
bro. It's smooth. I like it. I love the way it tastes with lemons and limes. I like it. I know you hate it, but
Mm-mm.
but I like it. But to me it ain't worth it. It's not worth the price tag.
Mm-mm.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
It's not worth 250. Yeah, so
Again, next pod, I might put a bottle up there just for the aesthetics,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
The way my clearance is set up, I don't know, hype, but other than that, nah.
yeah.
Mm-mm,
Hmm.
mm-mm.
But anyway, man, we can go ahead and put a button on this.
Yes,
I got
sir.
things to do. But hey, oh.
Oh, Elgato.
Oh,
Elgato been riding with
no,
us.
I think no. I think I kicked something. because
Oh,
it came right back on. I think I kicked something under my desk. But anyway, bro, on that note, I guess it's time to wrap this up. It's been another episode of Unlabeled Podcast. We appreciate y'all for tapping in with us and spending time with us and building community building with us. Listen, man, we gonna be back soon with another episode. I don't know when yet, but we definitely gonna be back on a once a week train now. At least very bare minimum once a week. But just be on the lookout. Click the notification bell if you're on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, comment. Please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Wherever you listen to your podcast, please leave us a review and rate this podcast. On that note, man, we will see y'all on another episode of Unlabeled Podcast.
peace
Peace.
be with you.
Peace be with you.